What's going on, my intergalactic pals? And today, I'm just talking about the market. I was trying to do this more on a Monday, but I'm always busy with something, it seems like, so I can never get these done. So I'm just going to do a market update whenever I think it's valid. But with that being said, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and just let me know what you guys think. I mean, does any of this make sense to you? Do you think the game is changing as it is? So going into it, jump to Lightspeed, just the sets. We got serialized cards that are, I mean, up for sale. Um, I mean, 300, 400 roughly makes sense because there's only so many of these. 250 is the highest of every single card, but I personally don't think they'll stay at this price. Um, I feel like they might go a little bit lower, but I think if you're looking at like investment wise, if the game stays healthy and active, they could go up only because again, there's only set number of each card that's been serialized for just this set. Now, will we see serialized cards in the next set? Who knows? Maybe this is just a test run, see how they feel. Leaders, right now, the most expensive one is Boba Fett. The red, it's well, you get it as a spotlight card, but this is just the special showcase that you can pull. I know a lot of people are playing Boba Red right now. It's been interesting because it's a lot of just indirect damage, doing indirect damage quickly. Vader is kind of up there. I like Vader. I think Vader can be very playable just because of his mechanic, which is whenever you attack with a space non token space unit, you create a TIE fighter, a 1/1 TIE fighter. I think that's still pretty strong, but time will tell. We'll have to see. Next card, Admiral Pitt seems like it's going down, and Grand Thrawn is going down. Let's just see how that looks. I know these started off super high. Yep, and it lost about $40 so far. Oh yeah, about $40, $30. Buy it right now. Someone has it for 200 or 195.50 with shipping. Um, I think a lot of people were super hyped for that. Now it's just kind of gone. Thrawn was at 265, 270. People were roughly buying it at 250, and now it's down to 187, 170. So if you're looking to pick up a Thrawn, show Admiral Thrawn Showcase from Jump to Lightspeed. I think now might be a pretty good time, uh, just because of the mechanically unique leader effect that he has himself. So just have to wait and see. I do want to talk about Phasma and Kaz. Kaz, very, again, mechanically unique, the ability to remove abilities from a unit. They can't gain abilities for that phase, and you get an extra action. Super strong on certain cards. A lot of like bounty unit cards, or like the Millennium Falcon from set one. You could negate that effect. That way, you don't have to worry about paying the one to bouncing it back to your hand. Phasma, I've seen people playing Phasma. You could actually check a couple of videos that should be up by the time this is up on my channel. Someone was playing Captain Phasma. I thought it wouldn't be that good, but I was wrong. It's super fast, super strong. I think they got first in our store play, first or second. Uh, Rose, if you want Rose, she's pretty cheap right now. A lot of leaders are there are fairly a good amount of leaders that are fairly cheap right now if you want to pick them up. Rose, Hold, Hold, Admiral Hold, Lando, Rio, Admiral Akbar. These are all under $100 roughly. You could get lucky, probably pick up the Luke Skywalker unit, showcase leader as well, under $100. So a lot of low cost, but just the idea that they are fairly cheap. Under $100. Looks like Vader unit is still riding that $25 high. Devastators are still up there. You get a base one for $24 roughly, or you get the prestige variant, foil or non-foil. Non-foil is roughly $28, and the foil one's about $32, $33. Planetary bombardment's fairly up there as well, throwing a $25 price tag on these, while the non-foil hyperspace you get for like 23, 24. Hyperspace devastators, those are still 21, 20, 30, $40 for hyperspace. Devastators are still holding those high $20 price tags. Han Solo, $20. I mean, this set still has a lot of high end legendaries that bring in that price tag, which is good. I like that. So I think a box right now you can still probably get between 80 and $90. Pull a couple of really good legendaries out of this box. Just the pulling Devastator and a planetary bombardment is half your a little more than half your money. And if you get some good foils. So next up is the weekly play promos. The most expensive ones are the Han Solos, the foil version and the non-foil version. The foil version is between $42 and $45. Crazy, but that's what it is. And I think it's because of his effect, which is essentially the smuggle card that was Hotshot Blaster, which Hotshot Blaster was you smuggled it in and equipped it to a unit, they get to attack that turn. Han Solo's ability is the exact same instead of smuggling. If you pilot, you can attack with that vehicle that he's attached to, and if it's a Millennium Falcon, he deals damage first, which is still really great. But everything else is fairly low cost and price range. I think the second highest is the foil Boba Fett, which is about $9 to $10. So my hope is to pick up I collect one of each. That's my goal. I'm hoping to pull the Han Solos and the Boba Fetts. I really don't want to pay really high pricing on these cards if I can avoid it. Next, I'm going to talk about the Twilight of the Republic. It seems like Palpatine, Yoda, Anakin, Jango Fett. It looks like someone's trying to push Jango Fett's price up because he's still playable. He's still really up there. And right now there are only 2 listings. I would not pay $700, $900 for this card. Last sold was around like $300. That's still fairly pushing it, but I think it's because the market is dried up on these, or people are just holding on to them, that is pushing that price. It's still a very competitive card, but he's essentially the new Boba Fett from set 1. But I mean, we got new Boba Fett, so we'll see how that goes. Next would be Shadows of the Galaxy. Bo-Katan is up there still. I'm surprised Gar Saxon hasn't really gone up, especially with piloting being an upgrade. And if a unit dies while it's piloting, Gar Saxon sees it as an upgrade, so you get that pilot back into your hand. Cad Bane still in the high 200s. Kylo still to that 200 range. I don't really see a lot of boss players anymore, but I mean, you got Finn for if you want to pick up some cheap showcases. You got Finn this is a rescue. You got Finnick. You got Hondo. You got Moff Gideon. These are all roughly under 100. The box still has some decent pricing, like the Kylo silencers, about $30, $40 almost for hyperspace. Triple darks are going up in price because everybody's running triple darks. Supreme Leader Snoke still 20, Poe still 20, 25. Let's check the second page real quick. Dark Sabers. I mean, not a lot, but there's still some good hits. And I think maybe these boxes are about $60. Let's just check product real quick. Let's see. A box, yeah, about 60, $70. Okay, so I mean, if you still hit some good stuff, that will cover the box, but there's not. I think for $60, you're probably better off buying kind of the singles that you need, more likely just rares that you're looking for. I know, like, I need another Supreme Leader Snoke, but I'll probably end up buying it rather than, buying a box. Mandalorian went down in price. If you're looking for a hyperspace Mandalorian unit, uh, between $8, $9, hyperspace. Lurking TIE fighters or lurking TIE Phantom, hyperspace are about $6, $7. Bazine Natel Spy, hyperspace, about $14. So she's still played. And last but not least, set one, Spark of the Rebellion. You got Boba Fett still roughly running the 300 gauntlet. He's only playable right now in Twin Suns, but with the rotating sets and everything else, we'll get another set of, I guess, vintage system where he might be legal. Sabine still 250. Emperor Palpatine, he's down past the 300s. He's 270. Han Solo 260. Leia, same thing, about 280, 250, 260. Hera, looks like someone's trying to push the Hera prices up because of all the new ghosts or specters. Cassian Andor, I have one of those. He's $60. He's half the price. I could trade an Andor for two. I can't even trade it for two. Well, maybe for two Millennium Falcons, but I'm not going to do that. But I thought Andor would be pretty good, especially with indirect damage now, because he only cares about damage being dealt. If you dealt 3 or more damage to an enemy base this phase, draw a card. Yeah, so he would still work in a sense with the indirect damage, as long as that damage goes to a base and it's 3 or more, you draw a card. Sad that it's pay 1 and exhaust, but Millennium Falcons are up there with Luke's and Vader's. I remember when Devastators were $8 and now they're $20. We could see how the market went right here, and then it climbed in a short amount of time. So foils are 20. It says roughly non-normal is $26. Foils are 13. That's kind of backwards, but hey, Devastators or Avengers. I need those too. So with that being said, the market is very weird, very wonky. It's always going to change because of everybody playing something different. But with that being said, what leaders, even the cheap end ones like Cassian Andor, which ones do you think are being missed? Do you think some of them could be playable now with all this new stuff, or you think Legends of the Force will put new things into play for leaders that were struggling, or will it make new leaders more powerful? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, be safe out there in our big galactic world of ours, and I'll see you around.